Raven. Oh, Raven. Well, thanks for joining me. If you were watching last time, you'll have seen a failed mission to find a barrow that doesn't seem to exist anymore. So I'm just taking a swift detour. As I said that, no, can't see it. Oh well. Anyway, so this is the journey back from the long barrow that was hidden to me this time. Normally it is quite interesting because normally I'm wandering along and it just not looking for it and it just appears. It's one of those, so I don't mind. I'm not bothered about missing it. I just wanted to take you there, that's all. But I think I can safely say that we've found something better. That view of the root and the fern was, and the bluebells and the wandsdyke was possibly, arguably, better than the barrow. Certainly, in my mind, that's worth the journey just for that view. Talking of that views. It's actually a shame to be leaving. And if you're thinking, oh, don't leave, and you haven't seen the other video, I don't know what's going to be called by now, but I'll write it down there, and then you can go and check it out. Or I'll leave it as a link at the end, depending on which way you want to do it. I don't leave cards because I never click on cards unless it's really important, because I find they interrupt the video that you're watching. So yeah, so we are going to go. Along here, beach lined Panther House. This is the first time I've actually been in a wood in the same area, or a nearby area, but I've never heard of any incidences in here, so that's okay. But just a big wood, yeah, relatively bigger wood. Cuckoo. So onward down the stodgy track, back to the range of hill forts, Causeway Enclosures, ancient dwelling towns, cities, villages, places. Delete as applicable. And say goodbye to the bluebells. Thank you, bluebells. Thank you, woods. Thank you, wood spirits. And a new guardian oak on the corner. God's, I say corner, it's not really a path anymore, guards the entrance. So let's go. It really is a lovely thing to go past, isn't it? The white and blue with the green. Ooh, steamed up. Have to squint. Ooh, fox. The musty smell of skunk. It's funny how your taste changes as you get older. You know, I don't just mean your taste buds and food, which it does, but your taste in things. See, I never used to be a fan of white and blue flowers, but the more I've seen white and blue flowers in a garden together, the more I like it, with a touch of pink, because you know, I do like all kinds of flowers and stuff and plants and things, but the white and blue is very cooling, and in a time of heat or when it's getting warm that I'm not a fan of, you know, the white and blue provides a cooling colour to your eyes, even if it's psychological, you know. It's what it does. But I thought it's interesting because I've noticed how I've changed as I've got older, you know. This is almost a bit parkland-like, isn't it? You know, open green with some rather large specimen trees. Look at that hawthorn in there. Is that hawthorn? Or is that hazel? I can't see any leaves. Blimey. It's a hazel. Or is it a witch hazel? It's a witch hazel. See the point? Isn't it? It's not a hornbeam, they don't tend to grow like that. Nice. Magical. That's a little Hazel Grove. See, they were all coppiced at the same time, which is why they're all the same size and they've grown exactly right. They should be done again, really, once you've done things like that. That is the problem with any kind of man interfering with nature. You've got to keep doing it, or else you've destroyed it eventually. It's a lovely wooded view, isn't it? So we're heading up onto what looks like nothing. Bleak Green. This is a line of hill forts, as I was saying. Causeway Enclosures. Isn't that right, Tony? So I just have to throw in a time team reference. Because I've been watching some recently. I haven't really seen many. And I thought this reminds me of my life. Digging ancient places. Digging. Oh, look at this. What's this I found? And all kinds of things like that. So we start to get a view as we come up here. If you've seen the other video that's before this, you'll have already seen that. It's not as clear now, but it is spotting with rain. But I really do like looking over this valley. There's an interesting place down there. Can you see it? It's kind of, I mean, I'm not very good on architecture, even though I wanted to be an architect. But that looks very Ukrainian wooden stave, Norwegian wooden stave church building Viking thing. There's my description. Yeah, maybe with a fruity aroma, but it looks interesting, doesn't it? I'm not sure what it is. I've never actually checked it out. I've only noticed it in the past few years. Oh, there's a buzzard. Can you see it? Right there. Let's go and have a look at this soil creep. I can't ever think of soil creep without thinking of the Massive Attack song, Inertia Creeps. It's one of those things in my brain now, I'm never going to be able to get it out. Although I've beaten the people and the heat, I haven't beaten all the aircraft noises. Still, not a problem. All the haze. Look at that. That's a real haze, isn't it? It's hard to see very far. It's hard to see them blowing things up just over the ridges there. You see the first ridge. When you see that first ridge, and then the grey a lot further behind, that's Salisbury Plain. And that's where the booms that you may have heard are happening. That's where they originate. So we're on Causeway Enclosure. I mean, look how big it is, you know? So it goes right down to the end there. That other earthwork was at the bottom. I think there's some tumuli on the edge there, on the edge of that hill where it drops down. There's another hill fort right on the other end. I think we can see that there. That's another hill fort there, isn't it? And I'm pretty sure that that one in between is going to be. And then, well, this is it until the end. It's basically Causeway Enclosures. So I don't know how long ago the time was. You know, whether they were all active at once or whether they, you know, they spanned time. Different places were habited at different times. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? You can probably find out somewhere. There's probably, they must have done investigations into them, surely, for them to be scheduled monuments. Now we're through the gates onto another one, to a serenade of bombs. And we are quite a few miles away, so you can imagine, you know, it's rattling the windows in all the houses here. It used to rattle ours. I mean, admittedly, we were a bit closer when I grew up. All our windows would be rattling all day, for days on end. There's a buzzard down there. Just disappeared around the corner. Taking silage in that field. Silage is what a lot of people say around here. Because it is that time of year. It's one of those things that it's done. In all those fields you can see that patchwork. So there's spraying going on, some of it's silage. Oh yeah, that's a monoculture really, what's going on in every one of them fields. They probably don't even know what the word permaculture means. Yeah, it can get quite sad when you think about it, so I'll shut up. I won't go on about that. People react in the way that they've been taught to believe, because there is no reason for any of it. Not really. Because if you give people the freedom, you can tell who someone is. You know? But it's all about a facade, a pretending thing, you know? Which is why I did the work that I did, because I couldn't do that. I can't do that. I can't wear a certain uniform to look right, just to do a job that really wouldn't suit me at all, in any way, shape or form. I don't know where that... Oh no, what's that taken off? Was Kestrel or something? Can you hear that helicopter? Is that a Chinook? Now, I can't see that. And it's not the tractors. It's further beyond that. But Chinooks are synonymous with crop circles. What's that now? It's a bird. What is it? Well, what day is it today? It is May the 28th, 2021, and I'm sort of looking out over, well, Alton Barns really, from Golden Ball Hill. And I'm wondering if they're making a crop circle somewhere over there. That's what I think. But it could be associated with the manoeuvres and the bombs too. It looks like I timed my walk back almost right. Sorry if I'm going to look all sweaty and dishevelled. But then I never look hevelled anyway. Now these either kestrels, I think they're kestrels, aren't they? Or they sparrowhawks flying around. You know what they're looking for, don't you? They're looking for skylark eggs. You can hear the twittering of birds. Well, that's skylarks, and they nest in the ground. Surprised there's any left. It's like hares. They nest in hedges. That's it, on the ground. It's a wonder there are any left. It's not like you can't find a nest or a kind of lair on the ground. See, look how far it extends. And then we got over here, into here. This is all part of the system. Yeah, skylark's there. There you go, there's one. Can't see it. They just go up in the blue and it's very hard to spot. Especially when you see all the chi, all the prana in the air. Do other people see that? Do you see that? It won't be on the video because it doesn't come out on the video, but I look up and I just see all these spots of energy flying around. Bright white things just constantly around. Doesn't everyone? Is that just me? So I'm gonna go into this little Shady Grove, have another sandwich. I know it's Shady Grove because I checked it out before, but you'll find out in a minute if you haven't seen it in the other video. I go in there, have a little sit down, cup of tea, sandwich, refreshment before I descend. And we're in. And relax. Time for tea. I do love this tree. Now I came through here, as if you see the other video, and I wondered about here because I'm wondering if these dips that are all along here, some have water in, some are ponds, but they could also be, looking at all this, they could be flint mines. I'll show you why, because is this it? I mean, look at that. That's quite a clear edge, isn't it? Or whether this is where someone comes and has their go at flint knapping, but I can't see any discarded rubbish arrowheads or anything. Isn't it interesting? See, there's some, you know, they've quite clearly been deliberately broken, whereas, you know, there's no ploughs allowed up here, you know, for many years. And if you're wondering how long, that's many. And that one, look. Or is it a coincidence that loads of them with stray churches have been hit by something and then brought up here? I don't think so. Let's go and, in case you're not going to bother looking at the other video, should we go via the ones I found on the way here? Maybe have a look at those. We all know that, or maybe you don't, but the best flint came from Grimes graves in Norfolk. So I'm wondering if it was a flint mining area. Could be a chalk mining area, but this up here, this looks far more like a dew pond than a flint mine. Unlike the one we've just come out of earlier, with all the flint on the floor, there's not even one bit of flint visible. But this one I just noticed. There's this one here. That's a little one, but again, nothing visible. I didn't notice it earlier on the other video, but look, on the field at the left, just behind those trees there in the middle of the shot, and that's the sun. Oh dear. Sometimes I just wish I'd shut up. Wow, that's soil creep. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, I love soil creep. There's another hollow there. And a bit of a channel that goes down. Don't know if that is anything. That's Knapp Hill in front of us, and a buzzard being chased by a crow. Whoa, look at that. And then Adam's grave, the other peak to the right of it. Wow, crows are great. They just, well, you know, don't get between a parent and their kids. Wow, look at them. Don't know what they are either. I was wrong, it's a kite. See the forked tail? a lovely view there. They're actually much higher than me, much higher than where I am, where you can see now. And this is Knapp Hill, K-N-A-P. I always spell it with 2 P's, so I'm not sure of the actual spelling. I didn't bother to check that out. Well, you know, when you know something by name, just because you grew up around it, you don't even necessarily need to see how it's spelt, because you don't need to post anything there, do you? So if you'll permit me, I'd like to quote a little bit of poetry written by Julian Cope and published in his book The Modern Antiquarian. It goes: "Atop Knapp Hill I eat my snot, for 'tis the only food I've got." And in 2 lines sums up what it can be like up here when that wind blows. It's really unusual in these places at a time of peak holiday season to have it to yourself, or ourselves even. I just so love this view, and if you've seen my cowbag maggot, and I can't remember what it's called, but that was, see there's some trees on the end there, and then there's a ridge that runs all the way along, peppered with clumps of trees. Yeah, we were up there, and I drove along that bit, possibly from further round the corner where we started, because that clump of trees was about halfway along. Now this one here, what's this? Is this a chalk one? They used it for building various things, maybe? So let's go down backwards. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid giving you a view of the car park so it doesn't spoil anything for you. Oh, there you go. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming along with me. That concludes my little tour along this ridge. You know, it's quite hard to just go and do a whole thing on each different one, especially when you think, oh, go in there, might as well do that, do that, do that, do that and that. So that's what I did. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. See you next time. Ta-da.